Ooh, he popped him.
Ooh.
He just shot dude right there. He just shot him.
Who's the
Dude right there that just fell. He got popped. Dog just fell.
And I went live. Get the part I went live on. And he's not letting me join. He's still laying down. Oh my God, they shot him, bro. They just shot him.
Martin Luther King.
Please don't move him. We just called the police. Oh my God, they really just shot him. Why would that boy shoot him?
That video is tough to watch, but friends believe it is the reason. You have 3 people in custody right now, a 15-year-old, a 16-year-old, and a 21-year-old. Police late this afternoon confirming it was a family dispute that led up to the shooting right here in the middle of the street. A single shot.
Ooh, he popped him.
Ooh.
He just shot dude right there.
Recorded from a nearby apartment window, showing the aftermath of a deadly shooting in the middle of Vliet Street in downtown Milwaukee late Monday night. It appears an argument leads up to the gunfire.
He put it up to her and she said, "Don't shoot me," and he shot her and she stumbled all the way over here and she fell on the floor and she just sat there shaking.
The video, too graphic to show, captures the victim stumble onto the sidewalk into someone's arms as first responders arrive.
Oh my God, they shot him, bro. They just shot him.
The victim, actually a woman, friends identifying her as 29-year-old Ashley.
The notification popped up like any other. Someone was going live on Facebook. But what viewers were about to witness wasn't a party, wasn't a celebration. It was the final moments of Ashley Hudson's life, broadcast in real time to an unsuspecting audience. The shaky phone camera captured chaos, shouting, running. Then that sound that changes everything. A single gunshot cutting through the Milwaukee night. This wasn't random street violence. The shooter wasn't a stranger. The young man holding the gun was her 15-year-old brother. The getaway driver waiting in the car? Her own mother. How does a family reach this point? How does the bond between mother and child, between siblings who grew up in the same home, transform into something so deadly that murder becomes the answer? This is the story of Ashley Hudson, 29 years old, mother of 3, whose death would expose the darkest depths of what can happen when family love turns to family hate. Milwaukee's North Side has seen its share of violence, but what happened to Ashley Hudson shocked even those who thought they'd seen it all. To understand how a mother could drive her children to murder another child, we need to go back to where it all began. Before we continue, if real-life family crime grips you, hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and smash subscribe with the bell so you never miss a new case on Fatal Family Network. The Hudson family was fractured from the start. This wasn't a home where arguments ended with apologies and hugs. This was a household where conflicts turned physical, where bruises were as common as birthdays, where children learned early that family could hurt you worse than any stranger ever could. Ashley's father, Antoine McGee, would later describe a pattern that stretched back decades. The family had always fought, he said, but Ashley knew it wasn't normal. She knew families weren't supposed to live in fear of each other. 2 years before her death, she took a step that showed just how desperate she'd become. She walked into a courthouse and filed for a restraining order against her own mother. The words she wrote in that petition would prove tragically prophetic. She stated clearly that she feared for her life. She believed her mother would kill her. She even left instructions. If something happens to me, she did it. These weren't the paranoid ramblings of someone imagining danger. This was a woman who knew what her family was capable of. The court documents revealed disturbing details. Ashley described an incident where her mother showed up at her home carrying a handgun, not concealed, not hidden, just holding it, making sure Ashley could see it. The threat didn't need to be spoken. The message was clear. But here's where the story gets complicated. Because Ashley wasn't just a victim in this family drama. Court records show her mother filed restraining orders too, claiming Ashley had threatened her, had even pulled a knife during one confrontation. The violence went both ways, creating a toxic cycle that seemed impossible to break. Friends would later reveal that Ashley struggled with mental health issues. Schizophrenia and bipolar disorder, they said, conditions that made her unpredictable at times. But mental illness doesn't excuse murder. It doesn't explain how a mother could hand her teenage son a gun and tell him to shoot his sister. Ashley had 3 children of her own. 3 kids who should have been her reason to break the cycle, to find a way out of the family chaos. She tried to create distance, to protect them from the dysfunction that had marked her own childhood. But in families like this, distance feels like betrayal. And betrayal, in their world, demanded punishment. The restraining orders should have been the end of it. The court had spoken. Ashley and her mother were legally required to stay away from each other. Her 21-year-old sister was under the same restrictions. They were all prohibited from possessing firearms. The system had recognized the danger and put barriers in place. But paper doesn't stop hate. Legal documents can't calm rage that's been building for years. In the months before her death, Ashley tried to separate herself from the family drama. Friends noticed she'd stopped claiming certain siblings on social media. She wasn't showing up to family gatherings. She was trying to build a life away from the chaos, focusing on her children and her friends. To her family, this withdrawal felt like an insult. How dare she act like she was better than them? The resentment grew with each passing day, each ignored message, each family event she didn't attend. The battlefield shifted to social media. Facebook became the new arena for their conflicts. Old grudges played out in status updates and comment sections. Private family business became public entertainment. And somewhere in those digital arguments, a line was crossed that couldn't be uncrossed. On that November night, Ashley was at home with friends. She wasn't looking for trouble. She wasn't posting inflammatory messages or picking fights. She was just living her life, trying to enjoy a quiet evening away from the drama that seemed to follow her family everywhere. But her family had other plans. The argument that started on Facebook was about to move from the virtual world to the real one. And this time, they weren't coming just to fight. The mother who should have protected her, the siblings who should have loved her, they were coming to end her life. They loaded into a car with one destination in mind: Ashley's apartment near Martin Luther King and Valete. What happened next would be captured on camera, broadcast live to an audience who thought they were watching just another neighborhood dispute. They had no idea they were about to witness a murder. They had no idea that family could do this to family. The most chilling part? This wasn't a crime of passion, a momentary loss of control. This was planned. Someone had to get the gun. Someone had to drive the car. Someone had to make the decision that tonight, Ashley Hudson would die, and that someone was her own mother. Around 11 that night, a car pulled up outside Ashley's apartment building. Inside were 4 people who shared her blood. Her mother behind the wheel, her 21-year-old sister, her 16-year-old sister, and her 15-year-old brother. They didn't come to talk. Ashley was outside with friends when they arrived. Witnesses say the confrontation exploded immediately. No words of reconciliation, no attempt at peace. They came ready for violence, and violence is what they brought. Her 15-year-old brother stepped back from the melee. His mother handed him something, a gun. Time seemed to slow down. Ashley saw him raise the weapon. She spoke her last words, begging him not to shoot. Her baby brother, the boy she'd grown up with, looked her in the eye and pulled the trigger.
Ooh, he popped him.
Ashley stumbled away from her family, from the spot where her brother stood with the gun still in his hand. She made it several yards before collapsing. Her friend Reese rushed to her side, held her as blood soaked through her clothes. He stayed with her while she died, right there on the cold Milwaukee pavement, just steps from her own front door. The family didn't stick around to see if she survived. They piled back into the car and fled, leaving Ashley bleeding out in the street, leaving her 3 children motherless, leaving a community in shock. Someone who'd been live streaming realized they'd captured everything: the fight, the shooting, Ashley's final moments. Within minutes, the video was spreading across social media. People who knew Ashley, people who'd grown up with the family, watched in horror as she died on their phone screens. Milwaukee police arrived to find a crime scene unlike any other. Usually, homicide investigations start with questions: who had motive? Who had access? Who wanted the victim dead? This time, dozens of witnesses had watched the killers arrive and leave. The murder weapon was caught on camera. The entire crime was broadcast on Facebook Live. The investigation moved fast. 3 teenagers were in custody within hours: the 15-year-old shooter and his 2 sisters, aged 21 and 16. The murder weapon hadn't been recovered, but the video evidence was overwhelming. Yet one person remained free: the mother who'd driven her children to kill their sister, the woman who'd handed her teenage son a loaded gun. Despite witness accounts placing her at the scene, despite her role in orchestrating the murder, she wasn't immediately arrested. Detectives dug deeper into the family history. What they found was a paper trail of violence stretching back years. Restraining orders filed by Ashley against her mother and sister. Counter-restraining orders filed against Ashley. Police reports documenting fights, threats, weapons. One document stood out: Ashley's 2023 petition, where she'd written those haunting words about fearing her mother would kill her. She'd told the court about her mother showing up with a gun. She'd begged for protection. The system had given her a piece of paper that said her mother couldn't come near her, couldn't possess a firearm until 2027. That restraining order was still active the night her mother handed a gun to her brother. The Facebook angle emerged as crucial. The argument that triggered the murder had played out online for everyone to see. Digital forensics teams worked to preserve the posts, the comments, the threats that preceded the real-world violence. Social media had become both the catalyst and the courtroom of public opinion. Meanwhile, Ashley's father, Antoine, struggled to process what had happened. He'd known about the family feuds, had watched his children fight for years. But murder? Even for a family as troubled as theirs, this seemed impossible. He spoke to media with the exhaustion of a man who'd seen too much, his words heavy with grief and resignation. The investigation revealed something else. This wasn't supposed to happen. According to those who knew the family dynamics, fights were common, but they had unspoken rules. You might throw punches, might even pull a knife, but you didn't kill. You fought it out, and then you moved on. You shared a blunt later and pretended it never happened. This time was different. Someone had crossed a line that couldn't be uncrossed. A mother had decided her daughter needed to die, and she'd used her own children as weapons to make it happen. Within days, prosecutors had enough evidence to move forward. The video alone would have been sufficient. Clear footage of a 15-year-old shooting his sister at close range. Combined with witness testimony and the family's violent history, the case seemed straightforward. The 3 siblings were charged as adults despite 2 being minors. In Wisconsin, 15 and 16-year-olds could face adult prosecution for serious crimes, and first-degree murder qualified. The 21-year-old sister faced her own charges for her role in the assault. Still, the mother remained free. Prosecutors worked to build a case against her, knowing she was the mastermind even if her son pulled the trigger. Witnesses placed her at the scene. They saw her hand him the weapon. They watched her drive the getaway car. Yet she hadn't been arrested. The community demanded answers. How could a mother who orchestrated her daughter's murder walk free while her children sat in jail? Social media erupted with calls for justice, with people sharing Ashley's words from the restraining order. If something happens to me, she did it. Ashley's surviving sister took to Facebook Live with raw, unfiltered grief and rage.
Somebody got in that girl's head to kill her sister, dog. She didn't kill her sister. Y'all loud and wrong. She didn't kill her sister. Long story short, they was fighting. Somebody got stabbed up. And the way I feel, I feel like Ashley got the best of a motherfucker. I feel like she got the best of a motherfucker. And as y'all see in that video, she was bagging back. And a motherfucker realized that their other sibling was stabbed up. And fuck shit. They got the same mama, same daddy, bitch. We already beefing. We already beat your ass. Look, he ain't get no fuck. He ain't get no fuck. Nobody get no fuck. But again, I'm not gonna say this no more. At the end of the day, that was my sister, my big sister. I'm not gonna sit here and act like we was cool, bro. Everybody in our family had beef with this girl, but it never touched the internet. We never pulled no weapons out on each other. We never wanted to try to kill each other. None of that, bro. It never got to that fucking point. It never got to that point with none of my daddy kids. It never got to that fucking point. And I'm mad, bro. I'm mad. I'm mad at the fact that my brother in jail, and I had to tell him. Not only did I have to tell him my mama dead, not only did I have to tell him Zay dead, but I had to tell him his sister dead, bro. Dude, I'm irritated. I'm irritated as a bitch because I can't hold my brother, bro. Y'all know how I feel about my brothers, bro. I can't fix this shit, bro. My feelings is hurt. I can't fix this shit for Butters and Keontae. I can't do that shit. My feelings is hurt. And now I'm the big sister, bro. My feelings is hurt as a bitch because I can't do nothing about it. Like, y'all weird as a bitch. Y'all feel how y'all feel, but on my mama, y'all gotta see me. Bitch, wig off. Y'all have to see me. I'm on bullshit all day. On my mama, I'm on bullshit all day. I don't care about nothing. Y'all gotta see me. Like I said, it's 3 of you hoes that didn't get caught. It's 3 of you hoes that didn't get caught. Y'all have to see us. Y'all have to feel it. On my mama, y'all gotta feel it. Bitch, I don't even give no fuck about how nobody feel. I don't care how nobody feel. Like, right is right, wrong is wrong. Bro, me and Ashley fought plenty of times, bro. Plenty of fucking times. Nobody said, oh, go shoot her, go stab her, cause she got the upper hand. Go do this, go do that. My mama would have never handed me a gun to go shoot her kid, bro. She would have never handed me no fucking gun to go do something to her kid. Like, is y'all cool? Is y'all fucking cool? And like I said, you hoes don't know my sister, bro. Because if you knew Ashley, bro, she been fighting her mama and her siblings all her motherfucking life. This not the first time. This not the second time. This not the 4th time. No 5th time. No nothing, bro. She literally been fighting them motherfuckers since she was down there 10, 11 years old. All the time. They always jumped on her. Like what? You hoes don't know nothing. Like, y'all don't know nothing. Then y'all on faith, y'all weird. Y'all weird as fuck. On my life, y'all weird. Y'all weird. Y'all weird. Tell her on. How the fuck do you explain to somebody that they granny, they uncle, and they auntie killed their mama? How the fuck do you explain that shit? Oh, your granny and your uncle and your auntie killed your mama. How the fuck do you sit here and explain that shit?
Her words painted a picture of a family destroyed, of siblings scattered across jails and morgues, of children left orphaned by their own grandmother's actions. She spoke of having to tell her brother in prison that their sister was dead, that their mother and siblings had killed her. She revealed something else. Another sister named Tashina was in a coma in Arizona, unable to even know what had happened to her family. In one violent night, an entire family had essentially ceased to exist.
This shit foul. Like, a whole family just gone in a blink of an eye. A whole family just gone. A whole family just gone, bro. And then not to top it off, Tashina, my other sister, was in a whole coma, my nigga. She can't do shit. She can't do shit. She can't do nothing. She can't move. She can't do shit. She all the way in Arizona. Her mama got her kids. Who the fuck finna tell her what the fuck going on? How the fuck do you tell your sister that your mama, her sister, and her brother killed your sister? Now they all in jail, and you don't know where your kids at, bro. And you can't do nothing about it. Like, our whole family just gone, bro. Like, gone. Like, gone. And you hoes want to joke on Facebook. And what's really irritating me is, if you know Ashley, bro, she stood tall behind you so-called friend-ass hoes. She stood so behind 100%, bro. She was coming behind you hoes and y'all left her. Nigga, the only person that stayed right there, the only person there was Reese. My nigga didn't leave her at all. Nigga, he didn't leave her at all. He didn't leave her at all, not even a little bit. And my nigga didn't step away from her. My nigga didn't do nothing. He stayed right there whole time. Whole time. Whole time. He stayed right there whole time, didn't go nowhere until we got there. And still after, nigga, he still stayed there. All you hoes was MIA. MIA. I can just imagine how he feel, how he just saw what the fuck went down with his friend and his family, and he holding her with a whole bunch of fucking blood, and she screaming for help and screaming, don't shoot her, and all this type of shit, and she just died in his hands. Like, come on now. Like, no, you hoes is not real. On my mama, y'all not real. Y'all not real at all. Not even a little bit. All that, this my sister shit. This my sister shit. Me and my siblings stayed out there till they was gone. Probably a little after they was gone. Ain't none of you hoes pull up. Ain't none of you hoes try to see what the fuck was going on. Nothing. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. I'm on bullshit all day. I'm on bullshit all day. Literally all day. All day. All day. Bro, Ashley Ho stabbed my daddy. Guess where my daddy was at? Guess where my daddy was at? My daddy was right there.
The legal proceedings moved forward without much fanfare. This wasn't a case that required lengthy trials or careful deliberation. The evidence was overwhelming, the guilt clear. What remained was just the formal process of justice, the paperwork that would send 3 young people to prison for killing their sister. The mother's role remained unresolved as the initial proceedings continued. Whether she would face charges, whether she would be held accountable for turning her children into killers, remained an open question that haunted everyone who'd watched that video. Hours after Ashley died, while her blood still stained the pavement outside her apartment, her younger sister went live on Facebook. What followed was 20 minutes of raw, unfiltered grief that would show the world what this murder had really cost. She didn't hold back. Through tears and fury, she laid bare the family's dysfunction for everyone to see.
Right there. He can't help how she is, bro. We can't help how she is, bro. She is who she is. The bitch, she just went right in the head, bro. She just went right in the head, and if you knew her, you knew that. If you knew her, you knew that.
Yes, Ashley had mental health issues. Yes, they'd all fought with her. Yes, Ashley could be difficult. She'd talked about their dead mother, their grandmother, had said things that cut deep. But that's what siblings do. They fight. They make up. They smoke together and pretend it never happened. Not this time. This time, there would be no making up. The sister's words painted a picture of a family that had operated by its own twisted rules. They'd fought since Ashley was 10 years old. The whole family jumping on one girl year after year, fight after fight. But there were lines you didn't cross. You didn't pull guns. You didn't kill. She spoke directly to the people celebrating online, the ones sharing the video, the ones who thought Ashley deserved what she got. Her message was clear. You didn't know her. You saw the Facebook posts, the conflicts, the drama, but you didn't know the girl who'd stood behind her friends, who'd protected people even when she was struggling with her own demons. The most heartbreaking moments came when she talked about what was left, her brother in prison, who she'd have to tell that his sister was dead, killed by their own family. Another sister in a coma in Arizona who didn't even know their family had destroyed itself. 3 children who would grow up asking why grandma helped kill mommy. She saved her deepest rage for the friends who'd scattered when the violence started. Everyone except Reese, who'd held Ashley as she died, who'd stayed even after the family fled. All those people who claimed to love Ashley on Facebook. Where were they when she needed them most? The community responded in the only way they could. A vigil formed at the corner where Ashley died. Balloons floated into the Milwaukee sky as prayers were offered for a woman whose life had ended where it began, in family violence. People who'd known Ashley, who'd watched her struggle against the chaos of her bloodline, gathered to mourn not just her death, but the death of an entire family. Her father stood among the mourners, trying to find words for the incomprehensible. He'd known the family had problems. He'd watched them fight for years. But somewhere between throwing punches and pulling triggers, something fundamental had broken. The unspoken rules that kept their violence from becoming lethal had failed. Social media became a battlefield of its own. The video of Ashley's murder spread despite efforts to contain it. People picked sides, those who remembered Ashley's struggles and conflicts, and those who saw a mother murdered by the people who should have protected her. The complexity of her story, the fact that she wasn't a perfect victim, made some people feel justified in their cruelty. But complexity doesn't diminish tragedy. Ashley Hudson was a troubled woman from a troubled family. She'd said hurtful things, done hurtful things. She'd fought with the same people who killed her. None of that justified a 15-year-old boy shooting his sister in the street while their mother waited in the getaway car. 3 children wake up every morning without their mother. They'll grow up knowing she didn't die in an accident or from illness. She was murdered by their uncle, their aunts, orchestrated by their grandmother. How do you explain that to a child? How do you make sense of it as an adult? The cycle of violence that claimed Ashley Hudson didn't start with her and won't end with her death. Somewhere in Milwaukee, in countless cities across America, families are locked in similar patterns. Parents who mistake fear for respect. Siblings who've never learned to resolve conflicts without violence. Generations passing down trauma like a twisted inheritance. Ashley saw it coming. She told the courts, told anyone who would listen. She knew her mother would kill her. She filed the paperwork, got the restraining orders, tried to use the system to protect herself. But systems can't fix families this broken. Paper can't stop bullets. What happened that night on Facebook Live wasn't just a murder. It was the final act in a tragedy that had been building for decades. A mother who chose violence over love. Children who became weapons in their parents' war. A family that confused destruction with strength. Ashley Hudson died at 29, gunned down by a brother half her age, orchestrated by the woman who gave her life. She left behind 3 children and a community struggling to understand how family could do this to family. Her story serves as a warning. Some cycles of violence don't break, they explode. In the end, a 15-year-old boy sits in a cell for killing his sister. 2 more siblings face their own charges. A mother may or may not face justice for turning her children into killers. And somewhere, 3 kids are learning to live in a world where love and murder came from the same source. The notification that started it all, someone going live on Facebook, captured more than just a crime. It captured the moment a family destroyed itself, broadcast for the world to see. No filters, no edits, just the raw truth of what happens when family love becomes family hate, when the people who should protect you become the ones you need protection from. Ashley Hudson knew she would die at her family's hands. She said so, clearly, repeatedly. She was right. The only question now is whether her death will mean something, whether other families trapped in similar cycles will see her story and choose a different path, or whether somewhere tonight, another mother is teaching her children that blood doesn't mean love, that family can be your greatest danger, that sometimes the only way to solve a problem is to make it disappear forever. Ashley's father was right about one thing. He wasn't surprised, just shocked at how far it went. Because in families like this, violence is normal. Death is always one argument, one Facebook post, one bad night away. The vigil balloons have long since disappeared into the Milwaukee sky. The blood has been washed from the pavement. The Facebook Live video exists now only in police evidence lockers and the nightmares of those who watched. But 3 children still ask why mommy isn't coming home. And in a family where violence was currency, they paid the ultimate price. Family should be a refuge, but even the closest ties can fracture. Stay alert, look out for one another, and reach out if you sense danger. See you in the next story here on Fatal Family Network. Thanks for watching.